Hello, welcome to my channel today. This is King's Tutor. Okay, if it's your first time of joining us, kindly like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Okay, we started on cost some times ago. We have seen different videos, the introduction aspect, and different concepts relating to cost. If you have not watched that, I will leave it up here. Both videos, I'll leave it up there, or check in my description. I advise you watch those ones before this so you can have a grasp knowledge on that and the formulas. Okay, so we want to solve a question. In the previous video, we said we are going to do different calculation relating to cost. So we said find the values of letters A to J in the table below. So they give us a cost schedule. What's a cost schedule? A table showing relative output and the relative cost, the output and cost of what? Their commodity. So we have the unit of output, we have the fixed cost, VC stands for variable cost, TC stands for total cost, average cost, and marginal cost. So we have some missing items here. So they're asking us to fill. So how do we fill? We can fill this using the formula of the related cost we have learned. Okay, so we are going to do this very fast, starting from A. So we have solution. We will start from A. A falls under the fixed cost, right? And we'll say fixed cost is total cost minus variable cost. That's the formula. That's why I advise you to watch that before this, okay? So total cost, what's total cost? Look at it, 120. So we'll just say 120 minus what's the variable cost? 100. 120 minus 100 gives us what? 20. So the fixed cost is what? 20, which is for A. Very simple. We move to the next one, B. So B here, also total cost is unknown here. So what do we do at this point? Now, while we are defining fixed costs, there was a statement I made. I said it is those costs that do not change with the level of output. They remain the same irrespective of the level of output. So in the cost schedule, the fixed cost is always the same. So watch. We saw for A now, it is 20. Watch here, here. They are the same. So B would not be an exception. So the fixed cost is always what? The same. So our B is what? 20. Okay, so move towards C. Now C falls under the variable cost. And variable cost, the formula stands as total cost minus fixed cost. Now what is total cost here? 210. In that same line, we're solving for C. Total cost is 210 minus the fixed cost here is what? 20. So 210 minus 20 will give us 190. So our variable cost is 190. The next one is D. Next one is D. Now how do we solve the D is variable cost? Now variable cost is supposed to be total cost minus what? Fixed cost. Now how do we solve this now? Now it means we have to leave this. Let's know what is F first. Now how do we solve our F? How do we get F? Now from this point now, okay, the next one is E. Let's move it sequential like that. We'll still come back to D. We can't get this without knowing this. Okay, we can't get this without what? Knowing this. So let's solve for F. So if we solve for F, because that's only what can make us to know this, and F is unknown. So F stands as our total cost. And we know total cost to be fixed plus variable, but variable is still unknown. Now let's look for a formula that relates, that have relationship or where you can see total cost. Now that formula is average cost, because average cost formula is total cost over quantity. Okay, so what do we do at this situation? Now watch. In that same line where we are looking for F, total cost, our average cost is given. So we are going to substitute into that so that we can get total cost. So average cost is 90. So we have 90 equal our total cost. What we are looking for is unknown. So we have leave it like that. Divided by the quantity in that same line is 6. So we have 6. Now this over 1. If we cross multiply, total cost times 1 equal 90 times 6. So 90 times 6 is supposed to give us 940. Okay, so that's our total cost. Our total cost now for F. So we have used that to remove some F. F is 540. Now how do we get D? Now we can get D now by saying our variable cost is total cost minus fixed cost. What is total cost? 540 minus what is fixed cost? 20. 540 minus 20 gives us 520. So the variable cost for D is what? 520. Now move to E. Okay. So E falls under where? Total cost. Now what will that be our total cost? The formula is fixed cost plus variable cost. That's the formula of total cost. Okay. Now the reason why we did not apply it here was because even the variable cost was not known. Okay, so we had to look for a formula where there's total cost there to make it a subject. So now the total cost equals fixed cost plus variable cost. Now this situation, now what is our fixed cost in this same line? Fixed cost is B. We have solved for B as 20. So we have 20 plus our variable cost is what? 160. So 20 plus 160 gives us 180. That is E. The next one is supposed to be F, but we have solved for F. So move to G. Now G equals, G falls under average cost. Now what's the formula for average cost? Total cost over quantity. Once you know the formula, it's easier. We have done that. Watch the video. Okay. Now total cost for G is E. We have solved for E as 180. So we have 180 over, what's the quantity? Is 2. So 180 divided by 2 equals what? 90. So move towards H. H is falls under average cost still. So average cost is total cost over quantity. So what's our total cost? Where it is what? H. Total cost is 300. Divided by what's our quantity? It's 5. So 300 divided by 5 gives us what? 60. That's for H. And the next one is I. So in the I now, I is our marginal cost. Our marginal cost we said is what? Change in total cost over change in what? Quantity. Okay? That's the new total cost minus the what? The old total cost. So if I clean this part to get my marginal cost for I, okay, which is new total cost minus old total cost divided by new quantity minus old quantity. That's the what marginal cost, the change. So now look up. The new is the current one you're solving, while the old is the one that comes before the new. So in this now, if we are solving for I, our new total cost is the one in the same line, which is here E. And we are solved for E as 180. So my new total cost is 180 minus. The old is the one that comes before the new. So if here is one, the new, it means the old is the one that comes before this. So that is 120. Divided by what's the new quantity? By solving for I, the new quantity is 2. Minus the old is the one that comes before this, which is what? 1. So 180 minus 20 will give us 60 over 1, which is what? 60. As our what? Marginal cost for I. Then the last part, which we are going to do now, is for J. It's a marginal cost for G. Marginal cost for G, the same thing. Is new total cost minus what? Old total cost over new quantity minus what? Old quantity. So if we have the new total cost for J is F, and we have solved for F as 540 minus the old is the one that comes before this, which is 300. So we have new quantity is 6 minus 5. So 540 minus 300 will give us 240 divided by 1. So our marginal cost here is what? 240. So that's how to solve this aspect. They have different ways a cost question can come. It can come from a cost schedule like this. It can come from a graphical representation or from cost equation. We're going to see them one after the other. Okay? So that is why you need to ensure you subscribe, like, comment. Just like so that we'll get to more video. It will not take anything from you to like or to comment. Please do that. Okay? To like and comment and share this video. Let us meet more students. Okay? So thank you very much. So go through what we have done. In the next video, we are going to see other aspect of cost. Okay? Thank you very much.